All right, y'all. So it's been about a week since season 2 did drop, and this has been a pretty big discussion in the community, rightfully so. It's been something that I talked about a bit in season 1, but I didn't give it its like kind of standalone video because of the fact that I wanted to see what they're gonna do with the Star Collection in season 2. And now that we see that, and I waited a few days to kind of get the general perception of how people are feeling about it and all the changes they made, we can go ahead and talk about it. And that is the Star Collection system. So I actually have Mike joining me today. I know Mike actually took a look at some player feedback, and he does that every week on his channel, the official Gekishin Squadra server, which again, I think Mike can go ahead and give you some details on that and what you should do regarding any feedback.
Yeah, something that is pretty cool about the game is that it has like the Discord server that has its own feedback section. I like to look at it every single Monday, and a lot of people in season 1 and season 0 were talking about like Cell Juniors being removed and everything like that. And then it seems like now that a lot of those issues were addressed, the next big one is just a Star Collection system, especially because now if you want to be able to get a tier 1 character, you either need to be at tier or level 31 or 109, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of just hurts people who have been playing the game for a long time, because if you are a person who saved your tier 1 because you were able to like galaxy brain it and be able to see into the future, you weren't able to get any character past that point because you have to unlock that character first. So it just screws everyone all over. Like you, for example, are a person who regularly plays for the new uh, characters that come out, and you're not even at 109 yourself. I'm at 90 something myself, and I'm
And
also another person who pays for every new character too.
it's not even just the new characters. I went through and bought all characters before I unlocked where the heroes. I bought everyone, or at least mostly everyone that I could before I unlocked them. And what happens is when you do that, when you get to the section in the star memory, you could see right here. In fact, let's go to this tier 2 this tier 2 one here, or actually I think it'd be better to show this one off right here. Since I already had these characters unlocked, like Cell, I have 5,000 memory for Cell that I can get for free. And even with that, it's still an issue of me trying to hit these requirements because it takes a lot of memory to upgrade these characters. Like, let's take a look here. Goku, we even got 5,000 memory for him basically for free, because he was given out as a pre-registration character, and I played Goku like a decent amount, nothing really too crazy. But we see here, like, you get to a point where, okay, when you start hitting these really high levels on these characters and you start grade upgrading them a lot, you get to an issue of Zenny. Like, to start grade upgrade from 6 to 7, it's 7,000 Zenny. Also 6 7. To get from 5 to 6, it's 5,000 Zenny, 3,500 Zenny. Like, it costs a lot, like, after a certain point in time, and I feel like that's one of the big issues here. If it was more accessible in terms of Zenny and the hero memories, I don't even think this would be as big of a deal. But you don't get Zenny from playing matches. You, after a certain point of time during the day, you will get lesser and lesser hero memory for the character you're playing, and you don't even get a lot in the first place. At most you get like, what, 60 per match, and it's like, okay, yeah, you get 60 hero memory per match, but then you have a requirement of, like, at a certain point, 7,500. So like, if we get roughly 60 hero memory per match, and that's kind of being nice about it, you have to play 125 matches just to meet this requirement alone. And then you need to have the Zenny on top of that. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of time sinking in for just one star upgrade. So even once you get all these characters, at a certain point, you're gonna need to rely on playing a single character a lot of different times, even if you don't necessarily like that character, just to star grade upgrade them. And I think it's an issue that is not something that, like, maybe was thought of like for the future of like, oh, what's gonna happen when you actually kind of just can't meet these requirements at a certain point, right? I think that's one of the big issues that they haven't really thought of, like how much time and effort goes into this. Because if we take a look here at the very beginning of the star grade system, we see all, you know, especially because they're just like tier 4 characters, it's like every other one. And then at a certain point, I think once we get to about 49 right here is when it starts going from 49 to 59 to 69, and we see it's every 10 you get a new character. I don't think it needs to be as spread out. It should be honestly every 5. Like the fact that you get like, okay, 2 G capsules, 2 G capsules, emoji required, then you get a bunch of extra capsules, and then finally 10 after you get the hero unlock. But that's like 10 whole star upgrades, when at a certain point, like once you get to this section, even if you've been very dedicated to the game, a lot of people aren't going to be this far. A lot of people might be like in the 70, 80, 60 range, and it's like, okay, well, I'm way past 30, but then I'm still farther from getting this. It almost incentivizes people, if they want these characters, to just make a new account and go for 30, because it's going to be way easier than just continuing on here. That's why it's way too spaced out. On top of the requirements it just has to be made easier if they want to just keep the star grade system the way it is. And I feel like, based on how things are and how it's set up, I'm not sure if they would really make a change without having to just reset it completely to the existing one. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is once you unlock all the heroes in a certain tier, you actually will be able to select from characters in the tier higher. So we see here in this hero unlock for tier 3, I already have all characters here, so I'm actually able to select a character from tier 2. I assume what's going to happen is once I am able to finish selecting the cell character that's in tier 2, I'll be able to have all tier 3 and tier 2 characters, which means that next time that there's a tier 3, I should be able to select the next available option, which would be tier 1. Same right here with this tier 2. What's going to happen is I select, once I actually get cell from this tier 3 that's available, I'm going to be able to select a tier 1 character in here because it goes the next step up. And I did confirm that last season. So that like could be good for players who are playing a long time. But like, look how far spaced out it is, man. 139? That's 34 star levels. Like, how am I going to get 34 star levels without like actually playing for 8, 9, 10 hours a day? And then it's going to take me a couple of weeks still, because of how little it will take you to actually get all these memories. Like, that's the biggest issue. I don't even think it's necessarily like the concept of the star collection, but it's how little resources you get to actually meet these requirements. It's either that has to be shortened, or the difference in the star collection kind of levels. Like, there shouldn't be 2 levels for this. These 2 should be 1 level, like, right? These 2 should be combined. Like, every single one of these single 2G capsules should be combined into 1, and that will make things dramatically easier for people to actually meet these. Otherwise, it's like, again, the new characters are going to be more accessible, but especially the fact that it goes from 30 to 109, like, why is it so much of a difference? And then up here, it's only a 10 character level difference. Like, that doesn't make sense.
I was just about to talk about that too, that like they space them out so much, and then it's like back to back for tier 1s. Something that I that was also brought to my attention as well is at the beginning, you know how they spam all of the tier 4 characters all at once? Well, what actually happened for a couple of people was that because they already got a certain amount of characters already, and they were going through the star collection system, and they might have just been like a casual player, not maybe playing as much as like someone like you or me. Because Bojack went to tier 4 and they already acquired all of their tier 4, they can only buy Bojack with gems now. They already got all the tier 4 characters that they're possibly able to get, but because that tier went down for those guys, well, guess what? They can't get them anymore. And even if they try to fix that by adding more tier 4s later on, you're gonna be at like tier 140.
Yeah, because you're kind of locked out of that. Like, if you didn't get Bojack for free here, like, and you got all of these characters, like, after a while, tier 4 just doesn't appear again, right? You see there's tier 3 here. There's a tier 4 of 49. I don't know if there's any other tier 4s.
That's the last one.
No, there's 69. So they're adding more. It's pretty far into here, but the fact that you could potentially lock yourself out of it, like, if you're past like level 70, I don't think another tier 4 shows up, which is also like another kind of odd issue. I assume what might happen is if you get all the characters in another tier, it could also just pick the closest available character, but that's going to be tougher for Bojack, right? So there's a couple of like I think oversights when it comes to this, and I really think like maybe move this 109 and move it all the way to like the 79 or something like that, or like even like this 69 one, like move this tier 4 all the way to the farthest up there, so it's like, okay, you know, there's a tier 4 up there, sure, and then move this one to here at 69, or at 79 would be like closer to like being in the middle, and I think that would be okay, right? Like if we go from 31 to 79 to 119, it's still like a pretty big space, but it's way better than going from 31 all the way to 109. So not only do they have to space out like this situation there, it just has to be Justin in general. There's also people who say, we'll actually look at this when we actually look at the replies. But there's one comment I did see in my notifications. I asked people on Twitter for their opinions, where they said, okay, if you already, like, let's say again, someone's like at 30, got past 30 for the season, and then they updated this, but you already went past here, you should be able to go back once only and select the character, one of the characters that were updated here. So let's say, for example, you're level 50, and then you see Super Saiyan Gotenks, Super Saiyan 3 Goku Toppo was added in this tier 1. What if you're able to select once only from there? And it's like, okay, I get Gotenks, and then once you get Gotenks that first time, when Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is added here, you can't go back and select it again at 31, right? It's a once only thing if they update the characters in that roster. That could be interesting depending on how they do that. I'm not sure if that's something that they would do, but it's like an idea you could bring out where it's like, okay, because of how far it is, it's not fair for people who have been dedicated playing the game and they don't even have the option, while someone who's new to the game or doesn't play as much has the advantage, especially since we didn't know how exactly it was going to work. Now we do, but some people just, you know, don't have that foresight, right? And I feel like it kind of punishes players who have been playing the game longer. And the system, like, it's just kind of weird because it also like punishes you in a sense for not playing a diverse roster of characters, which, you know, I think people should kind of expand what the characters they're playing, but it'll get to a point where you have to force yourself to play one single character for a long period of time for whatever reason, right? I think it's a bit silly. There should be, what it should be is, we know that the character you're playing, you're guaranteed to get hero memory for now, but the secondary option, you should be able to select the hero that you want to build the memory for, and then you should be able to get more memory, and you just get Zenny from winning matches. That's what I would really change, even if they don't upgrade the actual star collection there. I mean, what would you say, Mike?
Yeah, I think that like a lot of things just need complete overhauls, like the star collection system. But I wouldn't mind if they just made it where hero memory and Zenny was just easier and easier to acquire, because like the battle score of getting like, I think it's like 100k to just get 500 Zenny, it's silly, because like the only way you can really truly get that is by having it where your matches go on for a long time. Like, can you just check your battle history for a second? Check how many games you actually get like over 100k battle score.
I mean, it's the Stillwater one. We kind of were throwing yesterday. These are games. Okay, to be fair, these are games. We're having fun, but you know, like even with Bojack here, like there's two games. This game I got MVP. This game, I got 100k damage. But like a lot of these games, even though we're winning here, okay, this is also kind of a story here. But, like if I'm playing hit technical, like I'm not gonna be getting a lot of these 100k battle scores. Okay, this is also just us throwing for fun, bro. I think we threw.
My point is though, is that the only way that you get like 100k battle score is if the game goes on for a long time, and then all you're rewarded with is 500 Zenny for each character that resets. And
Every season.
Yeah, every season. And then on top of that, if you're doing it where you just grind out like any role and you try to get as many of the bonus mission points as possible, you need to play a minimum of 33 games before you can get the bonus Zenny mission. And I just got mine recently, and all you get is 600 Zenny from it. So it's
You get a
like
very little amount of Zenny just in
it's
general.
so small.
And another issue, I might make a video on this as well. No, I think Mike's made like 2 videos on this. The fact that the free season pass has these empty slots when it could be resources or Zenny or something. Like, it's also really dumb. Like, this should just give you more Zenny, honestly, on
I've
here
seen a lot
or
of
something.
people. I've seen a lot of people wish that what they would also do is put hero memory that you could choose for any character. I think that would also be pretty nice
That
as
could be
well, where it's
cool
just
as well. Like, you
like a
choose hero
question mark
memory.
symbol with the hero memory, and you can select whichever character you want that you might not want to play in particular. And
In
then
my
again, just like
opinion,
more Zenny too.
what they should do is at the end of a battle pass, you should be able to select one of the season's characters in the paid version. I know it sounds kind of like silly, be like, oh, only in the paid version, but it's like, okay, if you pay for the battle pass and you play the game enough to get to level 50 and you do all the weekly missions, you actually have to play the game a decent amount to actually just get a bunch of these different missions. You get the ability to choose like a tier 1 character. Maybe it doesn't even have to be necessarily like the newest character, but a tier 1 character that's available. So even if you're not able to get, like, let's say at the end of the season you get to level 50, you're able to select like a tier 1 character that'd be available, which would be, I think, Topo, Vegeta, and Ultimate Gohan when that's available. Like, I guess that could be cool too, right? Or if you have those characters, maybe you could select just another one of these tier 1 options. Does like an option like that, I think, would be nice for the battle pass as well, and it would kind of incentivize that. Let's make it better, because I feel like the battle pass right now kind of is like, it's fine, you get extra stuff, but it's not like the craziest thing of all time. And these empty slots are just kind of silly too. But like, there's no reason for there to be empty slots when we're in a spot of having, I think, a lack of resources to actually utilize the star collection. Which, again, like I said, it's not even a bad kind of system if not for the fact that we just don't have the resources for it. If we actually had the resources for it properly, especially if you, because the fact is that even if you play the game every single day for hours upon hours upon hours, you don't have, for some reason, the resources. If anything, I mean, it kind of benefits you just spending money to get in. Even then, you still need to play such a long time to even get all these hero memories. I feel like it's kind of like weird. Even if you're a paying player, you don't like benefit that much. Like, you save on Zenny, but you still are locked behind the hero memories that you have to get. So I think it's kind of just silly how it works. But we're gonna go ahead and switch over to look at some Twitter replies. So I'm gonna pause the recording and we'll be right back. All right, Mike wanted to add something before I pause the video, so go ahead.
But yeah, like when you're already at like week 6, I think it was for me, I already did the whole battle pass. So I think that like having extra weeks just do nothing, and when it could easily just be converted into Zenny is pretty silly in my opinion.
I think, yeah, it would be cool because like there's no, like, I mean, I could reopen this. There's no benefit to doing any missions past like week 5 missions if you already complete the battle pass. Like, you actually gain nothing from it, but there's a total of 8 weeks in the season, but you only need to do basically 4 to 5 weeks of the battle pass to complete it. Otherwise, it's like, okay, you get nothing from this. Maybe if it gave you extra Zenny, or if it gave you something, I think would be pretty cool, but you don't benefit from it at all, right? So, all right, but we're gonna take a look here at some of the Twitter replies I saw, and I made a tweet asking people, how would you make it better? Let me refresh so we have up-to-date things. Let's take a look at some of the quotes here. So, remove the diminishing memory rewards and increase them by 50% minimum. Then they should have a hero unlock every 6 levels while also having special events that allow you to get memories and heroes. I think, you know, they could potentially have like some special events, like maybe for Goku Day next year. It's like, okay, you can get increased hero memory for Goku during that day, or Goku characters. Like, that could be something interesting. But I feel like this would be just a good change in general. Like, I'm not gonna look at this and be like, no, that's bad. But I would say I always like to try and meet halfway when it comes to these changes and things like that, and not try to fight more than we could chew it in a sense, right? I want to at least have realistic expectations when I'm putting feedback and be respectful with it, because I mean, you get what I mean about that, right?
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna change if you all you do is just constantly be rude and be like, "Oh, dude, the devs don't care about the game." It's why I get pretty heated when people say stuff like that in my comments, because you're it's almost like entitlement in a sense, or just like acting like a child,
I mean,
genuinely.
yeah, and it's a thing of like you need to also just like set realistic expectations so that you don't also get disappointed if any change is made that like is generally like either a good change or like, you know, oh, at least a change will take. But if it's not a change that you expect, like you expected like a 15 out of 10 change and we get like an 8 out of 10 change, you're gonna be disappointed because you set yourself up for that. So I would say honestly, this plus extra Zanny would be nice. And then if they have that, then having a hero unlock every 6 levels isn't a necessity. It would be nice though to have it on top of it, but I'm not gonna ask for everything to be changed. Even though I would like everything to be changed, I'm gonna take what I can get, and if we could kind of take one at a time. And over time, it's like, okay, you know, we got this now, then maybe later we also get this, rather than asking for both at once, and the devs are like, no, and then they don't compromise, right? I misclicked that. You think that they shouldn't be adjusting the initial character picks in this way if there's no intention to be able to grab said characters that are added after you pass that part of the star pass? They should offer us the choice to pick one of the characters if we pass that part in the star pass in order to collect the character. Added the new shop characters to a section in the past that most consistently players will have passed, and space the next possible option 70 stars away is greedy and scummy. I mean, I would say the fact that it's spaced out like 70 plus, it's basically like what, 80 spaces away, 90 spaces away. It's
Mhm.
kind of, well, not 90, it's close to 80 because
70, I
it's
think.
30 to 110, right?
Oh yeah, right, and
That's
31
80.
to 109.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like 80 to 78. So not much I could really say from there. It could work with the numbers tune up more as any in hero memories. I agree. It seems so far that going forward, we're mostly getting tier 1 2 unlocked, so it won't be as arduous getting new characters. Speaking of hero memories, let me get more than 5k. Let me get the 5k more than once. Yeah, to go from level 7 to 8, you need 20,000 hero memory and 9,000 zenny.
Something I totally forgot to mention as well. The amount of gems they want you to spend if you do use gems is actually outrageous. Because I think I checked it for uh, going to tier 6 or Star Collection 6, and it was like 500, 600 gems. Like it's
Yeah, it's
so dumb.
It's very crazy the amount of that they're asking. It's like also like I think everything either needs a decrease in the it's I can't even talk. It needs a decrease in the resources required, or we need to get more resources. Like it's just a discrepancy where it's like they put these numbers, but then it's like they're looking for this game to be a more casual game, but then the restrictions and requirements are like, oh, they want you to be playing all the time. I don't know. It feels kind of like odd for that.
Yeah, like I feel like another thing that could always be added too is like a daily memory system too, where it's like every
Well,
single day you can get like 1,000
they,
hero memory for whatever character you play,
I mean,
like 3 times per day.
they have something like that where the first few games you get extra, I believe, or like something similar to that, and then it diminishes over time. But the fact that it diminishes is kind of silly.
That too, yeah.
You gain 100 zenny per win, 50 per loss. The amount of hero memories you gain now is doubled, and there's no longer a soft cap. After new heroes added, oh, this is the one I saw. Yeah, after new heroes added to a tier, you can now select a hero from that tier again once only. I think that'd be good. Where it's like, okay, if a hero is added to a tier, you're able to select a hero from that tier once only. So even if I'm trying to think. So like, let's say if someone's moved down to
Super Saiyan
like,
Goku.
not even just that. Like if the Bojack situation where Bojack's moved down to tier 4, he's added to that tier 4. You're now able to select a character from that tier. Could be interesting. Or let's say again, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Topo and Gotenks were added to tier 1. At that point, you're able to select a hero from that tier once only so that you can't get all of them at once, and you will have to continue making that decision. And it's not gonna enable you, okay, you know, I pick Super Saiyan 3 Goku now. The next time I have to pick between Gotenks and Vegeta. The next time maybe I have to pick between, you know, Vegeta and Ultimate Gohan. Then after that, I have to pick between like Vegeta and Broly, right? Notice how I exclude Topo there, but you guys get the point. I think this could be interesting. It wouldn't be the worst thing ever, and it's like, okay, it also means that if you want some of those characters, you're better off of potentially just still purchasing them, right? But yeah. Instead of moving characters up and down the tier, how about adding more hero unlocks? Yeah, I mean, why are we still getting 2 capsules for so many levels? It's very hard to get Zenny. You think 2 useless capsule will replace Zenny? Talking about this pissed me off. I mean, maybe getting, instead of these capsules, if they gave us Zenny in some of this, right? Like, these 2 G capsules, like, move them somewhere else and make the Zenny. Like, 5,000 Zenny.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, especially like the higher you go, the more Zenny you would get. And maybe this emote, the emotes you get here, what if they also give you hero memory for that character? Like, there's multiple ways they can improve this.
Right. On top of that too, when you use those capsules as well, by the way, they give you bonus mission points as well. But the thing is that like I think premium give like 30, and then the like regular capsules either give like 1 or like 10 or something like that.
Let's take a look here at the points for the bonus mission. So I'm at 199. Let's do a multi with the G capsules real quick. And let's just literally just show that. Like, maybe I get a new costume here, but just showing this off. We could just skip through this.
Yeah, I should tell you on the top right how much you acquired.
50. So okay, cool. I'm now 50 out of 1,000. So I'm at 140, 249 out of 1,000. I don't know. I feel like, and then you get what, like 500 Zenny from that, from these missions. Like, I don't think you get that much.
Yeah, it was like 500, 600.
Like, you don't get like Zenny is just super scarce in this game. We'll take a look at a few more here. More Zenny, and the jump at how many Z souls is required is mad. Yeah, although actually let me switch over here so that hit's not just like in the background all the time. Better rewards and more Zenny. Make upgrading easier. I mean, it's the same sentiments. Oh, it says something new. Let us trade characters for others that are in the same category. I understand it will level us down a bit, but it's fine as long as we keep playing. We'll get it back up, and after some time, we'll get the unit we traded back. I don't think that they would do that. Like, okay, I have tier 1 Cell, and I'm gonna trade for Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Like, you know what I mean? I guess Cell 18 and Gammas aren't tier 1 anymore, but like, you're saying like, okay, I have Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so I could trade him for Topo now or Gotenks if I want to. I don't know. I don't think they would do that, honestly. Hero memory should be decreased. Zenny should also be decreased, and if you're using gems, that should bypass the new memories in the first place. We could just buy the characters at that point. It takes the feeling of being completionist away. When Super Saiyan 4 will go tier 1, Super Saiyan 3 will go tier 2, so just wait, and after 6-7 months, every new character will be easier. Yeah, just wait after 6 and 7 months. You know, I think people are worried about the game right now. It's like, yeah, okay, we could say, we don't know if that's how this is gonna work, but if we assume that there's 3 characters per tier, Super Saiyan 3 Goku will be moved down to tier 2, which, oh, look out, oh, whoa, this is really, wow. Guess what? It makes it harder to get Super Saiyan 3 Goku if you're like in the space that I'm at, right?
And then, on top of that, I think like all it does is put like a blanket over the issue as well.
Yeah.
Of the tiers being just super
too spread out
hard to acquire once you're later on. Yeah.
It's not only too spread out, but like, it requires too many resources.
Because it's like, oh, wait, congratulations, you can get Super Saiyan 3 Goku now. All right, well, now you can't get Vegeta. Oh, congratulations, you're able to get Gotenks now. Well, guess what? Now you can't get Ultimate Gohan. Oh, congratulations, now we can get Topo. Yay. Now you can't get Broly.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we switch back here. I think, again, people just generally agree with the sentiment, but I want you guys in the YouTube comments to let me know what you're thinking. Hopefully the star grid system, again, they do listen to feedback. Just leave your feedback in the server respectively as well. Any comments on this video, you know, you never know what they might be lurking around. Leave comments here just giving your opinion. Would really appreciate it. So I forgot to mention this during the video since we focus a lot on the star system and I'm adding this post recording, but they could alternatively also add a way for characters to be obtained for free if they're going to keep the star system very similar, such as, let's say, available for Zenny. Like, let's say if a new character is just available for, it's a big number, but like 50k Zenny, and you save up enough Zenny and you could buy a new character on release. Like, let's say you have, I don't know, 45k Zenny and you're just going to save up to 50k for Broly's release and you get them on release. That could be a good idea. Another idea I thought of actually is, again, we take a look here. We talk about this in the video with Mike. There's 10 empty slots right here in the battle pass that kind of are just sitting here with no reason. What if they add a new type of currency? Let's say call them like character unlock memory or something like that. And it's like, okay, if you complete the battle pass, you get 10 of these per slots. And if you get 100 like character unlock memory, you're able to unlock a character no matter when the release date would be. So maybe you could even carry them over to the next season or future heroes if you're not interested in the current ones that are available that you haven't selected. I think that could be a pretty cool idea. And it incentivizes you to play the game more often. And, you know, I think it would not be bad considering that they release 3 heroes per season anyways. And eventually you're going to want multiple heroes and probably not have enough to get every single hero that you're going to want. I think that could be cool, or maybe it could be restricted within the season. So again, you get a specific hero that released in that season. Again, I do bring that up kind of, but hopefully there's some fix to this in the future. Thanks y'all for watching. Check out Mike again on YouTube. Mike makes some pretty good content. Catch you guys next time.
Thank you.